Hello everybody. I thought I'd do a video today on how I created this image. I wanted to recreate a famous painting um, and which I'll bring up in the video in a minute so you can see what I was trying to copy. And I did this all just using my mobile phone. I used a selfie stick, although I could have just propped my phone up a distance away and used the self timer. You don't need a selfie stick. And I used a red t-shirt and a coat, and then everything else was done using Snapseed, which is a great app that you can have on your phone. And I was just sort of thinking, in order to get the final image, I had to use a lot of the functions within the app that I use to edit my normal photos. So I thought this would be a good instructional video, and I can kind of go through how I arrived at this final image. So what I'll do is within Snapseed, I can go to View Edits, and you can see all the edits that I've done there. So if I start at the beginning, the bottom one, in fact, I go to the original. So this is the original image, and I'm facing the wrong way, which I hadn't realised till after, or the light source wasn't quite in the right place. So the first thing I thought was, well, I need to flip the image. So obviously I've got the t-shirt on my head trying to sort of mimic the turban within the original painting, and I've put a black t-shirt behind me to sort of get the background roughly the right colour, and then realised I'd have to sort of try and clone out the rest of the background later. But if you've got a big black sheet, then that'd be even easier. So I went to rotate, and within rotate, if I go into the settings, there's an option to flip like that, you see. And so that flipped it, and then I went into crop, and I just cropped it like this. You can see you've got different crops you can pick from here. So I cropped it, and then I used the brush tool. So with the brush tool, you basically can pick dodge and burn, exposure, temperature, or saturation, and you can adjust the amount here from like a one stop over exposure all the way down to one stop under exposure. So I use the brush tool to start to darken around the outside of the image, so my coat and things like that, because ultimately I want the background to be black. So you can see the difference there once the brush tool. I then use the healing tool. Now, so the healing tool is usually used to sort of remove little spots and scratches and things from a photo that you wouldn't want. But if you look at this here, and I sort of start to undo some of the healing, it's only remembered maybe the last 5 or 6, but basically I worked my way round the image and tried to remove as much as possible. I then used the brush tool again, so I could effectively brush out a bit more. I used the healing tool again. I'll see if I can show you some of the. But basically, by this point, between using the healing tool and the brush tool, I've managed to make the background as black as I could get it. And then got the details. So I basically used the details app, which if I show you here, you've got structure and sharpening. And when you use the structure, you see it brings up the structure, or you can go like that. So I just added a little bit of structure, but I wanted it just on the hat, effectively on the turban. So I applied a bit of structure, but then if I show you the masking here, so this paintbrush here, can you see you can basically mask in the bit that you want the adjustment to apply to. So I only wanted it to apply to the hat. So what you do is you've got like use your finger, and you can change, you do this bit at the bottom, and you sort of basically can choose the area that you want it to apply to. And then if you've got it wrong, you flip it like that, you see. But I'm gonna press cancel on that one. And then I went to tune image, and tune image is really good. So tune image, you've got basically go up and down the menu, and I lowered the shadows a bit to make the blacks blacker essentially. And then I used expand. So there's an option called expand from the main menu, and you can effectively increase so if I said I wanted the background to be, you can do a smart expand and it'll guess. You can do white, or you can do black, and then it'll just keep expanding out from the very edge of the image. And I used healing again. I think that was just to get rid of, there was a little mark on the top left there. That's now gone. And then I cropped it because I was trying to get the proportions the same as the original painting. And then I expanded again. I wasn't quite happy with that. And then I did the final crop. And that ended up with the image that I ended up with. So if I just show that really quickly again. Got the original, flip it, crop it, brush tool to darken, healing it out, keep going, tuning the image, expanding it, healing, cropping, and eventually the image. And it took about 10 minutes, something like that, once you get used to the app. Because what you've got is you've got all the tools here, you see. So you've got tune image, and you go up and down, but place your finger on the screen, go up and down, and then you get on what you want, and then you go left and right to apply it, you see. You go tools, and then you've got expand over here. Whoops, you got expand, and there's so many functions. It's such a brilliant app. Highly recommend it. And I use it all the time. I'll put photos on my phone from my camera, and I use Snapseed instead of Photoshop half the time because it's just such a brilliant app. Okay, well, hopefully that's helped some of you who are in lockdown and maybe doing some portraits or something like that. Thank you very much.